Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So, as we all know that we have different types of files, right? I'm just not simply talking about Python. If it is talking general, so we have different types of files. Let's say we have a PDF format file, we have the Word formats, right? We have the Excel format, we have JSON files. So in this way, we have many formats of files which we have, right? So in Python programming, we are allowed to automate out those files with the help of some Python functions and with the help of some Python libraries. So that's how we are going to implement today. So today we are going to see that how you can perform out the file manipulations with the help of the Python programming language.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any new updates or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoy this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing. So make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video. Any queries or suggestions and I will respond to your comments.
What do I mean from file manipulation? So that simple word means that manipulating the file. It means that performing some sort of functions onto your respected file format with the help of Python programming language. So here we go with the agenda. So onto this perspective, I'm going to let you know about the 4 different types of file manipulations which we have. So we'll be taking 4 different types of files and we'll be performing some several functions onto those files in respect of the Python programming language. Okay. So here I'm having, let's say we are having JSON file. So the very first we'll be dealing out with a JSON file. We'll be seeing that how we can read the JSON files with the help of Python programming language, how we can do some functions, how we could make on some changes onto the JSON file with the help of Python programming language. Then moving next, we'll be having the Excel file. So onto the Excel file, I'll be letting you know how you can read the file, how you can access the rows, how you can access the columns. So all of these things we'll be going through in detail in the Excel file manipulation. Then comes the Word file. So in the Word file as well, I'll be letting you know how we can read the Word file, how we can add on some text onto that. And all these things we'll be discussing up in the Word file manipulation. And next we'll be having the PDF file. So in that relevant case, I'll be letting you know that how we can access the PDF files, how you can make on changes, how you can merge 2 PDF files with the help of Python programming language. So this is all what we are going to cover up here in this file manipulation module. Okay. So I'll be taking you next and we'll be dealing up with the very first, that's the JSON file. Okay. So firstly, we'll be checking out that how we can read the JSON file with the loads function. Okay. Now, loads is one of the function which we have here in the Python programming language, which comes under the JSON module. Okay. What are the files you will be dealing with? Let's say you are having the JSON, let's say you're having the Excel, you're having the Word, you are having the PDF. So all of those have their relevant libraries. With the help of those libraries only, you would be able to access, you'll be able to make the changes in your JSON or whatever file format. Okay, if we simply wrote on the code and done that, so it won't work at all. Simply, first of all, you need to import the relevant library for your file, whichever you are choosing out. Then you could go ahead and put on the different types of functions, whatever you are comfortable with and whatever is your actual requirement. Okay. So here we go with the reading of the JSON file with the loads. So first of all, let's understand a little bit about that. What's a JSON file? Okay, so the full form for JSON is JavaScript Object Notation. Okay, JavaScript Object Notation. This is what a JSON full form is. And what is that used for? So that is used for representing out the structured data, and it is one of the very popular formats. So first of all, the JSON file format which we have, that is used for representing out the structured data. So whenever is the case that we want to represent on the structured data, So in that particular case, we use on the JSON file format. Okay, next. It is one of the very important file formats. Okay. Whenever you are dealing on with some, like let's say you are whenever dealing with some data analysis or whenever you're working with the APIs, so onto that relevant case, we have the JSON files only. So in that case, we go through the JSON files. That's the main, I would say, main work of the JSON files wherever they are required out. Okay. So, right. So, what is that loads function which I was talking about? The loads function is that whenever you want to pass the JSON string, whenever you want to access the strings which are present in the JSON file, then basically we use on the loads function. That's the requirement of the JSON file, I would say. Okay. So what it does not take the file path, but the content is stored in the file in a string format. So what is the file path you are having? It means that wherever your file is stored, right, you must be having a file path. Let's say it's stored in Windows C, like let's C drive, then it goes to user, then go to user, then another folder you are having. So let's say somewhat it is stored in some file format like this. Okay. So what it does, it doesn't takes out the file path. Okay, doesn't require start out, doesn't take that file format, but rather than that, what it takes on the content which is stored in the file, and that content so in the string format. So whatever the content stored in the string format in your file, it takes on that particular content. Okay, so hope I'm very much clear with this JSON file with loads function. Okay, and then the syntax goes import JSON dot loads. Okay, so hope I'm very much clear with this loads function which we have here in the JSON file, right? Now let's go ahead and check the another function which we have in the JSON. The another function which we have here is the dumps. Okay, dumps, dumps function. So what is this particular function now used for? So this is one of the methods that converts out the dictionary object into the form of JSON string data. Okay. Now, one important thing here that whenever we are having out the JSON file format, so in that case, most of the data is stored in the dictionaries format. Okay, like we have some dictionaries, and that have their key and the value pairs are actually there inside that relevant data. So this dumps is one of the method which converts that dictionary data type which I was talking about, dictionary objects, into the format of JSON string data. So whenever we just want to convert on the JSON string data, whenever we want to convert on the dictionary object into the JSON string data format, so in that relevant case, we use on this dumps function. Okay, hope I'm clear with this. Now let's say you want to perform on the operations like printing and many more. So for performing the operations such as printing are required to be in the string format, then this dumps function is used. So let's say in this JSON file format only you want to perform on the operation like printing. Okay, so that are to be required in the string format only, right? So in that case, this dumps function is used out. So what are the dictionary objects you have in your file, JSON file format? So that dictionary objects being converted into the string data, and that relevant string data. Now you could use that particular for printing, for reading, whatever the purposes you are actually having out. Okay, syntax is again same. You need to import on the JSON library. That's important. Okay, without importing on the JSON library, you won't be able to put on, or you won't be able to like go ahead and write down the things onto that. Okay, so for importing on the JSON data, it's compulsory. For using the dumps and the loads functions, it's compulsory for you to import the JSON library. Okay, so after the importing of the JSON library, you could simply write JSON.dumps, and that would actually work for you, whatever is the requirement. Okay, so hope I'm very much clear with the JSON files with you, that what are these JSON files, what are these used for, and what does the loads and the dumps function help us to do in the JSON file format. What are their work that they actually perform out, right? So hope I'm very much clear to you. Now let's check about the Excel file commands. So now let's see that what are the things that we can perform with the help of with the Excel files in the Python program. So let's go ahead and check that out. So right here. So first we will be seeing that how we will be able to read on the sheets and the cells in the Excel file with the help of the Python programming language. Okay, first of all, we are going to see out this respective thing. So, okay. So whenever we are just required to read on the Excel files with the help of the Python programming language, so there is one simple library that is compulsory for us to use that out. And the library is OpenPyXL. Okay. That I would again repeat it out. The name of the library is OpenPyXL. Okay, that is EXEL. That's not EXEL. That is simply XL. Okay, at the last. So, as I told you, even the very starting of this particular module, that whenever we are dealing up with the different file formats, and whenever we are trying to access and whenever we are trying to perform some functions onto these different file formats with the help of Python programming language. So in that relevant case, it's compulsory for us to import on the relevant library which we have for that particular file format. Okay, so here for the Excel file, you have the library that's OpenPyXL. Okay, now, so with the help of this library, you could modify and read on the Excel files. Okay, you can modify the Excel file, you can read the Excel file. So all of these functions could be performed with the help of this particular library that's OpenPyXL. Okay, then moving forward, we have that for reading the Excel file, there are different two methods. The very first one is by the cell name, and second one is by the cell function. So you could read on your Excel file first of all with the cell name as well, and secondly you could use that and read your Excel file with the help of the cell function as well. Okay, so that totally depends on you that which is the method that you want to apply out and that you want to choose out here for reading out your Excel file. Okay, it depends on you. I told you about two methods, the cell name and the cell function. Fine. So this is how you could read on the sheets and the cells of Python of Excel file with the help of Python programming language. Only two functions are there. Either of the one you could use out cell name or the cell function. Right? We'll be seeing up the hands-on of all of the functions of Excel together only. Okay. Let's go ahead and check out the second one. Now, for accessing out the columns and rows of the Excel file, what is the thing that we require out? So, when we talk about the existing columns and the rows of our Excel file, so in that case, first of all, the like OpenPyXL library is simply used. So that I already told you that whenever you're dealing with the Excel file, OpenPyXL library is necessary and is important to be imported out. Okay, that thing is completely okay. Next, we are having iter underscore row. Now, this is one of the functions which allows you to access and read the data of the rows, whichever you want to go ahead with. So, make sure iter underscore row, iter underscore row. Okay, this is one of the function which allows you to access and read the data of the required rows. Fine. Now, whenever you want to do it for the column, so iter underscore column, iter underscore col. Okay, iter underscore col. This is the function that is used to allows you to access on the and read the data of the mentioned columns. Hope I am very much clear. It's super simple. Whenever you want to access the column, use iter underscore col, and whenever you want to access the rows, use iter underscore row. Nothing more than that. Okay. But one thing is there which remains common in both of those, and that's the importing of your OpenPyXL library. Okay, that is one of the things which will remain same whenever you are dealing with the Excel file in any of the cases. Okay, next let's move forward with the other things. Now, next thing goes at how you could write and add the sheets. Okay, writing in the sheets and adding the sheets, how you could perform that out. Okay. So here goes that whenever you require to write or add something to the some data onto the Excel file. Okay. So firstly, we'll be using the OpenPy Excel library, and from there we'll be importing on the load underscore workbook function. Okay, so I would again repeat that out. Whenever you want to write or add some data onto the Excel file, so in that case, firstly, from the OpenPy Excel library, you would be importing on the load underscore workbook function. Okay, and next what goes? Next, there would be an object. An object will be created of the file. Like what are the file you are loading of that particular file, the object will be created, and the file path will be passed as an argument to it. And what are the file path you are having? It means that whatever is the like destination where your file is stored. So that particular file path will be passed as an argument to that. Okay, and it will simply result you the relevant output in that particular case. So hope I'm very much clear. I would again repeat that out. That first of all, import on the OpenPy Excel library. After that, import on the load workbook function, load underscore workbook function. Then the object will be created of the file, whatever you have loaded, and the file path will be passed as an argument into it. Okay. So hope I'm very much clear with this Excel file as well, writing and adding of the data into the Excel sheet. So next here is the filtering of the data. So basically, in the whenever you're having out an Excel file, okay. So how do you filter out the data? So into that relevant case, in the OpenPy Excel library only, the library which we're having, that is OpenPy Excel. So into that relevant library, we have a function that is auto underscore filter. Okay, so auto underscore filter is a function which helps you in the filtering of our data. Filtering of our data means, let's say you want to apply out some cases. Filter data means that let's say you want out the data for which the values are greater than this respective number, or in which you are having this particular value, or things like that. Okay, so that is called as postal filtering of your data, that managing and getting out the data according to you. Okay, so as we saw about that, in the Excel file, OpenPy Excel is a library which allows us to do all the stuffs regarding this. So here in the same manner as well, OpenPy Excel is a library which in which we have a function which is auto filter. So this particular function helps you in the filtering of the data. Filtering of the data, the conditions would be given up by you, and you will be having out a choice that you want to filter in this particular way or that particular way, or what are the conditions which you want to apply out. And according to all of those things only, your auto filter function will filter up the data for you and give you the resulting output. Right, so hope I'm clear with the filtering of the data as well here, that how it takes place. Okay, so now let's check out that how we can access the Word file, how we can make on the, how we can read, or how we can write on the Word files with the help of the Python programming language. So let's go ahead and check that out. So here, now we'll be first of all seeing that how you can read the Word document with the help of the Python programming language. Okay. So here goes that. Okay. In the Python programming language, we have a module, and the name for that module is docx, D-O-C-X. Okay. Now, docx is a module in Python programming language which basically allows you to deal with the Word documents. Okay. Now, Word documents are having the extension as .doc, right? .doc is the extension which we have for the Word documents. So, .docx is a sorry, not .doc. It's simply docx module is a function which is responsible for dealing with the .doc files. Okay. Now, with the help of the docx module that I was talking about, you could read on the Word documents paragraph wise. Okay, so it allows you to read on the Word documents paragraph wise. So let's say you are having some multiple paragraphs into your Word file which you are having, and you want to read that out. So for reading those relevant multiple paragraphs, we have the function that allows you to read on that particular document paragraph wise. First of all, the paragraph number 1, then 2, then 3. In this similar way, you could use that out. Okay. Now, so how to use that out? So for using out this relevant library, that is docx library. First of all, it's compulsory for you to install on that relevant library, and the command goes pip install docx. Now, pip install is the common command that we are having out here, which we use for all of the several libraries. Sorry, for installing of all of the libraries. Only after pip install, the name of the library changes out whatever you are having. Okay. So let's say here you are having the docx. So in that relevant case, you are having here the docx. Okay, so hope I'm very much clear with that particular thing to you. That like how you could read on the Word documents with the help of Python programming language. Firstly, you have the docx module, which is responsible for dealing with the .doc files. So whatever the functions, what are the manipulations you want to put on the Word documents, all of them come under the docx module only. Okay, all of those come under the docx module. So with the help of the docx module, you could read the Word documents paragraph wise. Okay, and to use on that relevant library, first for you to install that out, and after that you could use on the docx library. Okay, so hope I'm very much clear with that. Now, how do you write on the documents with the help of Python programming language? Okay, again, I would tell you that for writing on the .doc documents, we use the docx library. Okay, so first of all, the docx library is docx module which we are having, that shall be imported, and the file will be loaded, right? The file into which you want to write on the document, the file into which you want to write some text or whatever document you want to write onto that file, that particular file will be loaded. Okay, and after that the text is added onto that particular document file. So this is how we proceed on with the word files in the case of writing on the documents. So installation of library was already done. Simply, first for docx library is only responsible for writing on the documents as well. After that goes that you want to use on the docx library. So in that case, import on that relevant library and import on the file with the, and I just meant to say that load on that relevant file which you want to, onto which you want to write on the document. Okay, or load on that particular file, and simply after that the use of the function, the text will be added into your document file. Okay, so hope I'm very much clear with the Word files which we are having out here, like how you can access and how you can read and write the documents in the with the help of the Python programming language, right? Now let's talk about the PDF files, that how you could access on the and perform out some different functions onto the PDF files with the help of the Python programming language. Okay, so let's go ahead here with the PDF file. Now, the very first thing that we'll be seeing up here is that how you could extract on the information from the PDF files, right? PDF file, we all are very much clear that what's the PDF file format, right? So I just do not need to describe that out a lot of you. So simply whenever you want to first of all deal with the PDF files, I'm not talking about extracting the information, reading the file, writing the file, merging the file, whatever you want to perform the operation, but right, and I'm just talking in general that whenever you want to work with the PDF files, okay. So in that particular case, we have the library that is PyPDF2. Okay, that relevant library is used for doing all the different types of stuff in the PDF files. Okay, till now, for each and every of the file, I told you that whenever we are dealing with that particular file format, so it already has out a different function for it. So yes, that's absolutely true that whenever you are dealing with the any different kind of file format with the Python programming language, so in that it already has its different kinds of libraries which are to be used in particular. Okay, you can't change on the libraries, or you can't, it's not that case as well that you do not use the library and you get your output. No, it's not the case. It's gonna show you different types of errors. Okay, so make sure whenever you are dealing with the files, make sure that you import the relevant file the accurate library for that relevant file format on which you are working with. Okay, fine. Let's proceed on here. So in Python, the PyPDF2 library is used to do all other kinds of stuff with the PDF files that I already mentioned out, right? Next, whenever you want to extract on the information, okay, firstly the pages are chosen that from which page particular you want to extract on the information. So choosing on the pages is done by the function which is called as num underscore pages. Okay, so num underscore pages is a function which helps you to put on and which actually helps you to get on the information of a respective page, whatever you just want out. Okay, next, then you have the second function which is extract underscore text function. Then extract text function is used to extract out the text for the PDF file. So firstly, your importing of the library, that's PyPDF2 library, takes place. Okay, after that you have the function which is num underscore pages. So num underscore pages is a function which basically helps you to choose on the relevant page which you are having on from which you want to extract the information. Okay, and then extract underscore text is a function which in real helps you to extract out the text from your PDF file. And then you have the relevant text, relevant information which you want to extract it from the PDF file, and that's in the form of an output for you, right? So hope I'm very much clear first of all that how do we extract out the information from the files, from the PDF files actually. Okay, now second goes that how you can merge the PDF files. Let's say you are having 2 or 3 PDF files and you want to merge on both of or the 3 of those PDF files together. Okay, so how you do that out? So for merging on the PDF files, you have the function which is PDF file merger. Okay, PDF file merger is a function which you have for merging the PDF files. Okay, which basically as well comes in the PyPDF2 library. Okay, then first of all you need to import on the library, that's PyPDF2, and then you call on the PDF file merger function. Okay, and after that that function, the PDF files which are to be merged are mentioned with the append function, files get merged. So after the calling of the PDF file merger, after that, what are the PDF files are to be merged? Okay, what are the PDF files, the name of the PDF files which you want to merge out, those are mentioned with the help of the append function. Okay, and then at last your file gets merged out here. So this is how your PDF files get merged, and this is how you merge out the PDF files with the help of Python programming language. Importing of the PyPDF2 library, then goes your PDF file merger function, then goes your name of the PDFs which you want to actually merge on with the help of the append function, and finally your file gets on merged. Okay. So hope I'm very much clear for this PDF file as well, that how it works out and how you merge on the PDF files and extract the information from the PDF files. Now we'll be moving on to the IDE and checking on the hands-on for extracting the information and for merging on the PDF files. Okay, so now we'll be checking on that how we can extract out the information, extract out the text I would just say extract out the text from a PDF file. Right, so we had already seen onto the PPT that for extracting out some text or for getting on some information from the respective PDF file, which library do we use out? We use on the library which is PyPDF2, right? So right here as well, I'm going to import on that relevant library, and with the help of that only we will be extracting on the information. But one thing was also told by me into that PPT, that this is not an inbuilt library. It's not the inbuilt one. So you necessarily need to install that library here, right? So I would go onto the terminal right here at this place and install on the library. So it's pip install. Now, for the PyPDF2, please make sure that what I am writing, P would be capital, Y would be small, and PDF would be capital, and here goes the key. So pip install PyPDF2 and hit enter. Fine. So this is how you will be installing on the PDF2 library. Please make sure you remember out this respective this particular thing. Okay, so this is a particular method. For me, it is already installed onto my device. That's why it is showing requirement already satisfied. But if you haven't done that, so for you it will install that out. Fine. Now, 1 second. After doing all of those things, actually, what we need to do is that I need to import on the respective library. Right. So import, and P would be capital, Y would be small, PDF would be capital, and here goes to import by PDF. Okay, import by PDF. This is a method that we'll be using up here for importing on our respective library. Fine. Okay. Next here, I will be making up a variable. Now, that variable will be for what? So, first of all, I'll be opening up my PDF from which I want to extract the information. That's the very first thing, right? Before like without opening the your PDF from which you want the information, how you could extract out the information, right? So, my very first move towards extracting out the information from a PDF would be first of all reading up that PDF, means opening up that PDF. Okay. Okay, so here goes my PDF underscore read variable. PDF underscore read variable. Okay, that's equal to here. I'm opening that out. So the name for my PDF file which I am having is data science dot. Okay, that's data science dot PDF. Fine. Now, one thing you need to make sure is very important thing that in whatever the folder your file is situated, in whatever the folder you have made the py file in which you are writing on this respective code, make sure in the same folder you have this data science PDF as well. Whatever the from whatever the PDF you are extracting the information, make sure that that respective PDF is present in your respective folder into which you are writing this particular code. Okay, please make sure to do out that particular thing. So I will be as well doing out. I have this data science thing here somewhere, I guess. Yeah, this is my PDF. So I would just quickly copy out that PDF. Here goes copy, and here as well goes copy. And I would paste that onto my respective folder. So my folder here goes, okay, where that, yeah, here it is great learning, and I'm going to paste on this respective thing here. Okay, right, now I have this PDF onto my this particular like this particular folder. Okay, now once what if I do, if I just now simply write out here data. So now see, it is already giving me the name in the suggested. So it means that yes, it is present. This respective PDF is present in my respective folder into which I have saved out my file in which I am writing out this respective code. Okay. Now, in which mode you want to open this out? I want to open this out on the RB mode. Okay. RB mode is basically one of a kind of a binary mode. Okay. Into that respective thing, I want to open this out. Getting down here, now with the help of my PDF file reader function, I will be reading on this particular PDF. Okay. So, okay, next variable. So here next variable I'll be making PDF underscore reader. Fine, that's equal to from my pypdf2 function, pypdf2 dot. Okay. Now here goes my PDF file reader, pypdf2 dot pypdf file reader into the bracket. I'll be putting up that respective variable into which I have opened my file and open my PDF file. So that particular variable for me is PDF underscore read. Okay, PDF underscore read is that particular variable. Now coming down here, I have the pages. Okay, that now what are the number of pages? Like what are the pages that you want to read on? Okay, coming get out. Okay, first of all, I'll be calculating out the total number of pages first of all. Okay, so that PDF pages. Okay, that's variable name, and here goes the reader. Reader. Okay, that's right. Okay, that's PDF underscore reader. Yeah, fine. This PDF underscore reader, because into that only we have read on the PDF file, right? Putting on a dot here and using my function which is num pages. This num pages is used to calculate on the pages of the particular PDF file. That what are the total number of pages which you are having onto this particular file. Okay. Now next goes here, page underscore okay, page underscore select. Let's say my next variable name, page underscore select. Now what is this gonna do? Okay. I think that there's one simple thing that from which you all are as well aware of, that whatever is the total count of the pages, the index is one less than that respective thing. Let's say I'm having 20 pages into my PDF file. So the index of my PDF, index of the pages for that PDF file will be 19 only, because the counting is of the pages starts from 1, but the indexing starts from 0. But here we need to work with the indexing only. The page numbers won't work out. Okay, so make sure you, whenever you're reading up the PDF files and the files like this, make sure that you use on the respective, that is your I would say um whenever you're just using that, make sure that you use on the index number of the pages whatever you are having out. Okay, so into that relevant case, what I'll be doing is that I'll be subtracting 1 from the variable in which I have stored the num pages. So what's the variable? First of all, I'll be using the pdf underscore reader dot get page, and into the bracket I will be subtracting this from the pdf underscore pages minus 1. Okay. One second, let me zoom out a little right here. Okay. Getting down here, okay, this page would be, P would be capital for the page, not small. Okay, this function. Getting down here for the next line. Now what I'll be doing is that I'll be extracting on the text. Here comes the extracting of my text. So, okay, that's txt underscore extract. Okay, txt underscore pdf I would mention, pdf. So here what I'll be doing is that I'll be using up the variable which is page underscore select. Into that I had set on my page size dot. And here goes my function which is extract dot extract, and here goes the text, extract text function. Okay, this will completely help me to extract on the text with the extract the text from this respective PDF file, that's data science.pdf. Okay, right here. Next, what I'll be having out here is that I'll be setting up a location. Okay, I'll be setting up a location. If you just want, you could set that out. But right now, I don't think that respective thing is okay. Yes, that thing is needed because we have extracted out the information. Now, it would be more better that if we just what are the information we have extracted out, we shall save that in a file as well. Okay, this will be more better actually. Extracting the information is still this respective place only. Here you will be able to extract on the information. Okay, simply you could print text underscore pdf, that would work out. But it would be better that if we just to make on a file and store whatever the information we have got out, we store that onto a respective folder. First of all, I'll be printing that text underscore pdf, then I'll be showing you the other thing which I was talking about. Okay, so text underscore pdf. After that, we'll be seeing up that how you could store this extracted text onto a respective text file. Okay, so see, this is the text which has been extracted out here. Right, this is the one which has been extracted out here from my pdf file which I was having. So what was my pdf file? Let me show you that as well. Right, yes, this was a pdf file which I was having up here. And from this PDF file, whatever the text has been extracted, that has come here. Okay, it's absolutely same. You could just add that out as well. Fine. So this particular thing has been performed out. That we have already done out. Now, what if that it would be more good for us that whatever text we have extracted, we just save that out onto our respective text file. Okay, so now what we'll be doing is that I'll be using the function that is save underscore txt. Variable I'm just using out, and what I'm doing is that I'm now opening up a file. Okay, I'm opening up a file now. What's my location into which I want to save it out? So my location is this respective which I'm mentioning up here. So I would go on to the copy and click on copy path. Okay, absolute path, fine. And now I will be saving this up here. So this is my respective path into which I want to save my see the text of my PDF file which has been extracted by me. And here what I'll be doing is that it's not necessary for me to make on the folder right now. It will automatically make that. I would put double slash here and I would save it in the form of PDF, PDF text.txt. Okay, this is my, let's say this is my file name. PDF text.txt. Fine. Now separate it by a comma and I'll be using up here the method which is a. Append means to add something, right? Hope you are very much clear with the append method. So append method means to add something onto any of the file. So here we are extracting the data science.pdf. This data science PDF, we are extracting the information from that and we are saving that perspective into this PDF text.txt. Okay, that we are doing with the help of the append function. Next we'll be having here save underscore txt dot, and here goes the write lines function to help you to write out the line, and that's so in the basically that is stored in the extract underscore pdf variable. And at last I will be closing on the file which I have opened. So save dot, okay, that's save underscore txt dot, and here goes the close, and I would save this out, right? So simply I had selected on a location to save on my text which has been extracted here from the PDF, and that location is present up here, right? And with the help of this write lines function, I'm writing up this line and at last I'm closing this out. Now what I'll be doing is that I'll be running this out, and again here I didn't get any output, so it means my program ran successfully. My file will automatically be made out. I am again repeating that this particular file will automatically made up out of what was the name of my file. That was PDF text. So right here I am having the file name which is PDF text. I will let you know that I haven't made this file previously. It is automatically made out right now, and whatever the text you were having on you are getting as an output. Now that have been saved in a PDF in a text file. Now that particular text is absolutely safe. Now the text which you have extracted up from the PDF file, now you could use that out at anywhere, at any place according to your need, whatever you are actually having out, right? So I hope I made this particular thing very much clear to you, that how you can extract out the information from a PDF. First of all, that was the thing. Secondly, how you can save that extracted information from the PDF file into a text file, so that whatever the information you are extracting out, that remains safe. Right, so hope I'm very much clear with this respective thing. Now let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so now we'll be seeing out that how we can merge up the multiple files, multiple documents into one single file. Right now we studied about merging up the different documents, right? So in the same case, today we'll be right here seeing up the practical for the same thing. So what I'll be doing is that I am now having two PDFs with me. Okay, I am having two PDFs with me. So I'll be merging up both of those PDFs with the help of the Python programming language. Okay, so let's get ahead and put out the things. So as you know that what are the functions you want to perform onto the PDF file, all of those are performed with the help of the PyPDF2 library only. Okay, so in that respective case, what I'll be doing is that I'll be first of all writing out here that from PyPDF2, let me zoom in. Fine. So from PyPDF2, now I am importing on some respective functions from this respective library. From PyPDF2 import, we have PDF file reader, comma, and next we are having PDF file merge. And these two are the respective functions which I am importing out here from the PyPDF2 library. Okay. Next thing that I'll be doing is that with the help of PDF file reader, I'll be reading up the first file, and then with the help of PDF file reader, I'll be reading up the second file. So here goes file 1 underscore read. Okay, read, right, is equal to here reading of the PDF first one, so that is PDF file, and okay, that's FILE file, and next we are having out here as reader, PDF file reader. Okay, now into the bracket, first of all let me get on some space here. So inside the bracket, now what I'm mentioning up that respective PDF which I want to read out. So first of all, I'll be taking that same PDF which we had already taken in the previous practical. So that was data science dot pdf. Okay, data science dot pdf. That same I am taking one. Okay, next I'll be reading up my second file, that's file 2 underscore read. Okay, file 2 underscore read. Now, what in this particular? So it's PDF file reader. Into the bracket, now what I'll be having is that I'll be having the second PDF file. So the name for my second PDF file is teaching underscore data underscore sign. Okay, that's SCIEN science dot PDF. This is the name of my second PDF file which I'm actually having now. That's teaching data science PDF. Okay. Both of the files here I have rated with the help of PyPDF to library, and that's so with the help of PDF file reader function. Okay. Now, what I'll be doing is that I'll be I'll be making up a variable, and onto that variable I'll be calling up the PDF file merger function. So let's see, merge underscore final, my variable. That's equal to, and I'm merging up here with the help of PDF file merger function. Okay, putting up the bracket. This is done, completely done. Now, what I'll be doing is that in the merge underscore file variable, I will be appending up both of the files. Appending means to putting and to adding both of the files together. So how do I do that? I'll be writing here merge underscore final dot append. Into the bracket, I'll be writing the variable in which my file 1 has been read out. So file 1 underscore read. Okay. Next goes merge underscore final dot, here goes append. Okay, that's APPEND. 1 second, APPEN. Fine. Into the bracket, next we'll be having file 2 underscore read. Okay. Merge file 1 and merge file, from the merge file function, we are appending both of the files, which is file 1 underscore read and the file 2 underscore read. Okay. Now, next what I'll be doing here is that, okay, that all has been set up. Now, with the help of the with block, I'll be opening up this respective file. Okay, and I'll be printing and I'll be writing up the things onto that. Okay, I want to merge these files, right? So for merging these files, I'll be making up a new PDF file, and onto that only I want to merge it out, right? So I haven't made on any of the files till now. So what I'll be doing, I'll be automatically making up the file here only. Okay, I haven't made out any blank PDF file till now. Okay. So here goes that with open, and here goes my file name which I want to put on. So let's see, that's PDF file merged, my file name, and here goes .pdf. Okay. So this is one of the files which I have, one of the name of file which I had put on, but I haven't made on this particular file onto my destination folder. Why? Because it automatically gets made out. So there is no such need for making out a empty PDF or anything like that. It will automatically be made out. Okay. And opening that in the WB mode. WB mode, that in the write binary mode. Okay, because I want to write on some stuffs onto this particular file. Write the stuffs means whatever text I'll be having in my file 1 and my file 2, I want to write both of the files text into this PDF file merged PDF. Okay, so that's the reason I'm just using that out. Okay, and here goes my next variable that will be making up. Let's make that out as a. Okay, simply coming down here, I'll be writing up here merge underscore final variable dot. Here goes my write function, and here goes the variable which is a. Okay, and this is basically completed out. 1 second. So merge underscore final was a variable in which we have used called this PDF file merger function. That will help me to merge on both of these files. Now what I'll be doing is that I'll be running out this respective program. So now I didn't get out any output here because I haven't used any print statements, and it simply ended with process finished with exit code 0. It means my program ran successfully. I could go ahead and check on my output. Now go on to that destination, that respective folder where you have made up the file in which you are writing on this respective program. So for me, it is this particular file, and here goes PDF file merged. If I double click on that, so here I get out my file merged. This is my first file that we have seen, And now this is my second file which I was having, and I have merged the second file as well, right? So hope I am very much clear with this particular thing, that how you could merge on the things, how you could merge on different files, different PDF files into one single file with the help of the Python programming language, right? So hope I'm very much clear with this, and we simply use on the PyPDF2 library only for doing out the things. What are the stuff we're going to do onto the PDFs? You at each and every place you'll be using up this PyPDF2 library only. Right, hope I'm very much clear. Now let's move on to the further things. So now let's take out a quick summary of whatever we have learned till now in the files. So let me just go back to the particular place from where we started. We started on with the JSON files. Right, so first of all we had understood that what a JSON file actually is. So JSON file is a kind of a file which stands for the JavaScript object notation. JSON full form is JavaScript object notation, and which is used for representing the structured data. Okay. Next, we have seen that whenever you want to pass the JSON string, we use on the loads function. Okay. Whenever you want to pass the JSON string, so in that relevant case, we use on the loads function. So what it does not take the file path, but the content stored in the file in the string format. So whatever the file path you are having, the loads function doesn't take that out. Rather than what it takes the content which is stored in your file, and that's so in the string format. So the syntax for the same is JSON, import JSON. JSON is one of the libraries that you have out here, and which allows you to work on with the JSON files. So it's compulsory for you to first of all import that particular library, that's import JSON, and then you could use on your loads function. Okay. Moving forward, we had seen that next how you can read on the JSON file with the help of dumps function. So first of all, what is the use of this dumps function which we are having out here? So it is used for converting on the dictionary objects into the format of JSON string data. Okay, so whenever you want to convert on the dictionary objects into the format of JSON string data, so in that particular case, we use on the dumps function, right? So now let's say you want to perform on an operation like printing. So in that case, whatever it's required that whatever data format you are having, that whatever data you are having in a JSON file, that shall be in the string format. So therefore, dumps is one of the function which is used to in that particular case. Okay. And the syntax again is same, import the JSON library and then write JSON dot dumps. Fine. Hope I am very much clear with that. Next, we were having the Excel file. So on the Excel file, first of all, we had seen that how you can read on the sheets and the cells in the Excel file, right? So reading of the sheets and reading of the cells. So for reading on the Excel file with the help of Python, we use the actually OpenPy Excel library. Okay, OpenPy Excel library is one of the libraries which you use for reading on the data, for reading on the Excel files. Okay. Now, basically, this is one of the libraries which you use for reading on the Excel file that I already referred on. Next, for reading on the Excel file, there are in respective two methods. The very first method is a cell name, and the second method is a cell function. Okay. Moving ahead, we had seen that how you can access on the rows and the columns. So for accessing the rows and the columns in an Excel file, you have two functions. For accessing the rows, you have iter_row function, which allows you to access and read the data of the mentioned rows. Secondly, you are having the you have iter_call. So that is the function which allows you to access the data which is mentioned in your columns. So for rows, you are having iter_row, and for columns, you are having iter_column. Right? Now, next we have seen that how you can write and add the sheets, writing and adding the data into the sheets. So for writing and adding the data, firstly, from the OpenPy Excel library, you import on the load workbook function. So load_workbook is a function which is used by you from the OpenPy Excel library. That's actually imported by you from the OpenPy Excel library right here. Okay. Then The object will be created for the file, and the what are the file path you are having, that will be passed as an argument to it. This is how this particular writing and reading of the cells work out. Fine. Next, you're having the word file. So, what about the word file? How does that actually works out? So, whenever you want to read on the Word documents, so in that case, first of all, you have the docx module, which is responsible for dealing with the .doc files. So, in that particular case, it's first of all very important to import that out. That's the docx module. Okay, after the importing only, it's compulsory for you to first of all install that particular one. So command use pip install docx. Okay, and with the help of the docx module only, you could read on the Word document, and that's so paragraph wise. Okay, next goes how you can write out the document. So that is again same procedure goes on. That first of all, docx is a library that you will be importing, and then the file onto which you want to write on the documents, that is being loaded out. Okay, and then it goes that the whatever text you're having, that text is added in the document file. Okay, next we seen about the pdf files. So how do we extract on the information from a pdf file? So in Python, pypdf2 is a library which helps you to do all the stuff in the pdf files. Okay, so whenever you want to extract on the information from the pdf file, the very first thing that goes here is that you need to put on the page number, that from which particular page number you want to extract the information. So that respective page number is being entered, is being put here by the num underscore pages function. So num underscore pages is a function which allows you to put on the put on a page number from which you want to extract the information. Okay, so for mentioning the pages, you just have to num underscore pages, and after that extract underscore text is a function that is called out, and with the help of that particular function, your text actually gets extracted from the pdf file. Okay, this is how the extracting of the information takes place. Next, we saw about the merging of the pdf file. So again, pdf file merger is a function which allows you to merge the files, and that particular function as well comes under the pypdf2 library. So first of all, your library gets imported, that's the pypdf2 library gets imported, and then you have the pdf file merger function. Okay, that function is called, and after that what are the pdf files have to be merged, those pdf files are being mentioned with the help of the append function, and those get simply merged out. Right, so hope I'm very much clear that how we deal with the files, what is file manipulation, how we deal with the different types of files with the help of Python programming language. So hope I'm very much clear with that. Hope you enjoyed out the video. This is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any new updates or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoy this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing. So make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video. Any queries or suggestions, and I will respond to your comments.